and welcome to Dublin. We just got here about an hour ago. I can't even convey what a disaster the Venice airport was, but we're here. Let me give you a little tour. Here's the bathroom. Our Airbnb host has been so nice. There are all these products we can use if we love something. He's just so nice and accommodating. Here's the bedroom. The twins had the pull-out couch for the last Airbnb, so they get the actual bed. And then here is the living room. This is another one of these pull-out couches, but we might end up, I might end up sleeping on this one and Christina can sleep on that one. We haven't really decided yet. Here is the kitchen. Here are the cereals that he brought us. We were actually waiting in the lobby downstairs. Someone had let us in because we got here a little early. And someone let us in and we were sitting there and our host walked past us and left. And then he came back and he was like, "Oh, are you guys waiting? Sorry." He had just gone to the grocery store to get us milk, which the girls have already dug into. So they're like coffees and teas and spices and stuff for, I don't know, if we decided to cook, we probably won't. We're only here for 2 days, unfortunately. Washer, dryer. Oh, and then here is the balcony. We made it just in time and it started raining, I kid you not, about 10 minutes after we got in. So this is pretty typical UK weather. So we're here in Dublin today. Tomorrow we are taking a tour to the Cliffs of Moher, which has, I kid you not, been on the top of my bucket list for I don't know how many years, but for a while. I told the girls to just go to the grocery store. We're pretty close by, and then I will sit here and figure out what we're gonna do today. We are here, obviously. I think we are going to go to St. Patrick's Cathedral, then Dublin Castle, then to somewhere over here is the Ha'penny Bridge. That's also by Temple Bar District, which is another must-do thing in Dublin. We have to check out of our Airbnb in the morning on Wednesday, but we are not leaving Dublin until later that night. The problem is that, from 10 until, 5 p.m., we're gonna have our bags. It wouldn't kill us to walk around with them, but the fact that, we're going to the Guinness storehouse, that might be kind of weird walking around with these giant backpacks that we all have. Our host has graciously let us leave our luggage in here until 1 p.m. And then I looked up luggage storage, and there is luggage storage for 24 hours in the Dublin tourist office out over by Trinity College. I really want to come back at some point in my life and, explore more of Ireland. I want to go do more here. I know I'm only probably 1/30th Irish by now, but my grandmother is so proud of our Irish heritage, and it's made me proud of it too by now. Well, we made it outside. It's pouring rain. We're at St. Patrick's Cathedral. It looks great, but we can't really enjoy it because it's pouring rain. But we're only here for a little bit, so we knew we had to go out. No matter what the rain was, we had to go out, and it's just pouring more. Okay, bye. Even though we tried to fight the rain and go out and do things anyway, it was still just raining too much, and so we skipped over Dublin Castle and headed straight to the Temple Bar District. So apparently that's the Ha'penny Bridge. It's apparently iconic, but I'm not impressed right now. Maybe it looks really nice at night. That's my bet. It probably lights up at night. Or when it gets dark. Okay, so we're gonna find food and shelter now. And find food and shelter we did. We headed straight into the first pub we could find, and then we hung out there for a bit, and then finally ordered some food for a kind of early dinner. But it just felt like such a quintessentially Irish moment as I sat there by this window looking out onto gray and rainy weather, drinking a beer and listening to live music in an Irish pub. It was a great first night in Ireland.
Thank you very much. Mama, take me home.
see the pure joy on my face as I take in one of those little perfect moments that life sometimes just unexpectedly gives you.
What's in the menu? What are we going? We're like, what's in the plan? What's in the menu? What are we doing here? We're all sitting in the bus. It's going somewhere. I don't even work for Paddy Wagon.
Our next day was spent with a tour company called Paddy Wagon that took us to the Cliffs of Moher with some other stops along the way. Our tour guide was named Val, and he helped make this my favorite day on our trip.
They tied this little boy's hand behind his back and the dragons down to the boat. But now, the weather has changed for the worst. Thunder and lightning is cracking down from the sky. Waves are smashing up against the side of the little boat.
He was an amazing and hilarious storyteller as he entertained us and educated us about Ireland.
And he says, I was held in captivity in Ireland for 6 years. These people, they believe in the sun, the moon and the stars. We must do something about this. Pope Celestine looks over them and says,
we learned about St. Patrick and Irish Catholicism and religion and the potato famine, and that all sounds terribly boring, but Val made it so much fun.
Anyone been to Rome? Woo! Good for you, good for you. And you probably went to, I don't know, St. Peter's Basilica, did you?
Yeah!
Isn't it so cool? It's massive!
One of my favorite things was how he taught us bits of Irish culture. He taught us the phrase, have the crack, which means to have a good time and to just joke around and enjoy things. Then he demonstrated to us exactly what it meant to have the crack.
Now, if people ask me the question many's a time, Val, what do you mean by having the crack? Let me demonstrate to you what having the crack means, right? Watch this. This is perfect. Excuse me! Sorry, I'm just looking for Dunguair Castle. Okay, listen, thank you! Beautiful! I love when they play along, but that is having the crack, okay? Having the crack. They say that if you stand at the front entrance of the Castle Tower House, you close your eyes and you make a wish. Your wish will be granted by the end of the day. Legend number 2. They say that if you walk or you run backwards 3 times, anti-clockwise, with your eyes open around Dunguair Castle, you will regain your virginity.
Guys! I lost them again. Is it raining? It's starting to rain. Despite the bit of rain, I was thrilled to be in Ireland.
We're currently in of what's known as the Burren. In English, or what my Burren? Yeah. In Irish, it's called An Boireen. You'll find out in this tour, guys, that nothing is complicated in Ireland. An Boireen means the stony place. Look around you, you see stones. Johnny, what do we call it? Stony place. I really love the simplicity of Ireland. By a lonely prison wall, I heard the young girl calling. Michael, they have taken you away, for you stole Trevelyan's corn, so the young might see the morn, and the prison ship lies waiting in the bay. Low lie the fields of Athenry.
Val asked if anyone had Irish heritage, and I cheered along with some other people on the bus. Then he said, "Welcome home," and that's what this day felt like to me. A homecoming.
Around the fields of Athenry. We'll sing the chorus once again. We want to hear you, right? Low lie the fields of Athenry. Can't hear you. where once we watched the small free birds fly. Our love was on the wing. I see a French camper van. It's so lonely round the fields of Athenry. It's so lonely round the fields of Athenry. Up your boy. Oh, thanks a million. Thank you. For those of you on the bus that are sitting there going, hang on a minute, I don't have any Irish heritage or ancestry. I will make you Irish by the time we get back to Dublin, right? I'll at least have you wanting to be Irish.
Our next stop was at the baby Cliffs of Moher, which felt exhilarating to be there and look out onto the water, and it only made me more excited for the real thing later that day. Also, all of these clips are muted because all you can hear is wind. We said goodbye, hopped back on the bus,
Run across the paddock, if you're happy, now clap your hands.
sang a little bit, stopped in Dooley and ate lunch at a pub before getting back on the bus and heading to the Cliffs of Moher. I can't really convey how much it meant to be at the cliffs. This had been the #1 thing I wanted to see in the world. I put it on my bucket list mostly to kid myself because it would never happen, right? The fact that I actually made it there meant more than I can ever explain. This stupid face I'm making here is me just trying to process how this is my life right now. I lost them again. I literally like 5 times in this trip. They always wander off.
Let's do it, guys. The journey continues. If you're thinking the tour's over, no, it's not. We must go on.
Overall, this tour was amazing. We got to see a lot of Ireland for one day. The bus had Wi-Fi on it, so I could post as many Instagrams as I wanted, which I did. And Val was just all around amazing.
If you've come to Ireland and you're looking for love, my phone number is 087 689.
He told us awesome stories, my favorite of which is how Obama drank at this pub in this really small Irish town and talked about how his great-great-great-grandfather was Irish or something, and that pub saved the glass that he used, put a plaque up with it, and they put an apostrophe after the O to make him sound more Irish. Whose broad stripes and bright stars.
No pressure, Germany.
Roll us fight for the ramparts we
Now all good things come to an end, and everybody has to be left alone at some point in time. And no matter if you're on a 12, a 9, a 6, a 3, a 2, or a one-day tour, this always happens. This song means so much to me. The bus go round and round, round and round, round and round. The wheels on the bus go round and round all day long. I'll never forget on the 27th of February 2016, I had 64 people on this road back to Dublin, and I tried everything in the book, and I said to them, let's sing Wheels on the Bus Go Round and Round just for the crack. I sang it like a complete idiot at the front of the bus by myself. I'm not that kind of person to leave it at that. So I said to them, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to punish you. Little did they realise I had the Wheels on the Bus Go Round and Round on my iPod. I played it for 17 minutes non-stop. They wish they'd sung with me.
Thank you, Val, for an amazing day. We started off our last day at the Guinness Storehouse and walked through the Guinness making journey. I feel like we're about to go on a journey.
Coat your entire palate, swallow and exhale through your nose. So you should get the sweetness at the front, the coffee at the sides, and then the hops at the back. Everyone enjoyed this?
I'm proud of you guys. My favorite part was the advertisement floor that showed a lot of their vintage ads and had a bunch of interactive bits. Ready to get our Guinness? After we dropped our bags off at a luggage storage place, we got lunch at this deceivingly fancy place. For real, on the outside it looked like a pub, but on the inside it looked like the Plaza Hotel. We walked around Trinity College for a bit after lunch, and once it started to look like it was about to rain, we got tickets and headed inside to see the Book of Kells and the old library. The Trinity College Library was something else that I had really wanted to see, and it was just as magnificent in person as it looks in this video. I wondered how many amazing thoughts had ever been imagined in that room. After that, it was time to head to the airport and off to Edinburgh for our last stop on the trip. Jesus!